There's a lot of backstory here, but I have a ring from my grandmother's engagement ring from her high school sweetheart. She says I was the only person she ever told the story to, out of respect for my grandpa, but she still treasured the ring and the boyfriend's memory, and she wanted me to have it. About a month ago, I just lost the ring, as in it was on my bathroom counter one minute, and the next it was gone. So I tore my house apart with no sign, and was super depressed and figured it must have gone down the sink, or I vacuumed it or something. Well, this past weekend, I got a knock on my door, which literally never happens anymore. The guy was very nervous and very nice, and really cute too, and he asked if I was Alyssa, and I said yes. He said he really didn't know how appropriate this was, but he was a supervising civil engineer at our city recycling center, and about a month ago, one of the sorters found a ring in an Amazon box and gave him the box and the ring. He said he tried to contact me via phone and social media for weeks. I deleted all of it due to a bad breakup. Thought about mailing the ring but didn't want it to get lost, so after thinking about it for a week, he decided to hand deliver it to the address on the box and hope it worked. I immediately busted into tears when I saw the ring, and I only got his first name. I think I told him thank you, and I think he said that it made him very happy his plan worked, and he would let me have my moment, and left. I cried for a good hour just staring at the ring, amazed at how lucky I was. I started to feel bad I blew the guy off, so I did some social media sleuthing and found his Instagram. I created a new account and sent him a message thanking him. Unfortunately, he has not responded, so I don't think he's very active. I found out where he works, and I want to surprise him and ask him for dinner or coffee or drinks as a way of saying thank you. Yes, in my heart, I'm thinking this is how great romance stories start, but my brain is thankful he went through all the trouble. When I told my sister about my plan, she said I was an idiot. She said it was nice the guy returned the ring, but his behavior is so sus. She said I have no idea who this guy is. All we know is that he stalked my address from an Amazon box, which is probably massively against the rules of his job. She says instead of being a great romance, it's how dumb girls end up dead in a ditch. What do you guys think about this? OP, I mean at this point, he already knows where you live. If he's a serial killer, you're kinda screwed whether you ask him out or not. Just don't make the mistake of thinking this is some great romance because you had a meet cute. Maybe he's a good guy, perhaps he's not. Or maybe he is a good guy but not suitable for you. Or perhaps he's married, has a long-term girlfriend. Perhaps he's gay. You know nothing about him. This doesn't mean you can't try to get to know him, but don't pin all your hopes on it. I think your sister is a bit paranoid. I wouldn't recommend calling or showing up at his place of work to ask for a date. You already sent him a message on his social media, and you know it's the right one because he reached out first when trying to find you. I would just wait for him to respond. If he doesn't ever respond, that is also a response. Just give it time. If you're more focused on the show my gratitude side than the dating side, just send a beer basket or something with a short note like, "Thanks for helping reunite me with my ring." A civil engineer is a high-level management position with a full college education. He's not the guy sorting boxes. He likely runs the facility. His employees found the ring. He didn't dumpster dive the ring like a creeper. It would make sense that he would be responsible for and have the authority to return valuable lost property to a resident. Your sister is dead wrong about every aspect of this. Be that as it may, he's a civil servant. You know his name. You can likely just call the city or a recycling plant and ask for him on the phone. But on the other hand, he almost certainly works at a desk. Update. Cute guy returned my grandma's ring by using the address on an Amazon box found at the city recycling center. I want to ask him for coffee. Sister says this is how dumb girls disappear. So the top few comments said that I should do something nice for everyone at the center because he didn't find the ring, he just returned it. And if there were any romantic interest there, it would work itself out. I decided to do this and called the center and asked if I could bring them coffee and bagels one morning. The lady was very friendly and said of course, but wanted to know why. I didn't want to get anyone in trouble, so I said a few of your employees did something very nice for me, and I just want to say thanks. She then said something like, "Oh, I think I know who you are," which I took to mean that maybe this guy had been talking about me, and my heart jumped. She told me how I could do it. So Friday morning I got 4 baker's dozen, cream cheese and coffee and brought it down. They were very thankful. but sadly the guy who brought my ring wasn't there. The lady I had spoken to on the phone was like this sweet grandmotherly type, and she said that she insisted I give her my number so the supervisor could call and thank me. I kind of got the idea she was up to something, but couldn't put my finger on it. So I left thinking I'd done a nice thing to repay a nice thing, and maybe I might see the guy again, but if not, at least I tried. So later in the afternoon, I got a text saying it was this Brian, and he remembered me from the ring, and said I made his office in Sorters very happy with the bagels. My heart jumped through my throat. I was so excited. We texted back and forth, and I explained why the ring meant so much to me. He explained that the ladies in his office are always trying to set him up on dates and was sorry if they embarrassed me. I said no way and told him I would love to buy him dinner to thank him specifically. He said he would be happy to join me, so we agreed to meet for an early dinner between our works. Literally hit it off the bat immediately. He's so cute and funny but shy at the same time. As we were talking, my dumb, overly romantic brain couldn't help but think I had this ring from a family secret my grandma had given me, that fate must have made me lose it, just so this perfect guy could find it and come into my life. Yes, I'm a very dorky romantic like that. Probably why my sister was telling me to be careful. He checks all my boxes, but the one thing that gives me pause is that he's 31. I'm 23 and always critical of people with significant age differences, and 8 years is a lot. We texted all day Saturday, and I would have gone out with him again, but he had plans. He asked if I wanted to do something on Sunday. So yesterday we spent the day with him teaching me how to do stand-up paddleboarding. It was so fun. We agreed to get in touch to hang out later this week, and I spent the night in my bed cuddling with this hoodie, thinking really stupid things like if I should hyphenate my last name and what we'll name our kids. Yes, I'm a real dork like that, but I really like this guy. This is very sweet. I do agree with your sister to be careful. Keep those rose-colored glasses in their case, because sometimes the idea of the grand romance can make you ignore things you should be paying attention to because you want it to work out so badly, and you've already decided he's the one. Be cautious about moving too quickly and being in relationship mode after the second date. Thinking about what you'll name your kids with someone you barely know is not dorky. It's extremely hasty. Please don't let your romantic nature blind you. I, 32 male, have been married to my wife, 33, for close to 5 years. We have 2 children, toddler male, younger female. When we got married, we both had jobs. However, maybe about a year after we married, my wife tearfully confessed that she was miserable at her job and wanted to quit. She told me that her boss was treating her like garbage and that she woke up every morning wanting to vomit. She legitimately seemed sad, so I told her to quit and find another job where she would be treated better. She quit. I expected her to go out and start looking for something else, but she didn't seem too eager. Whenever I gently brought it up, she responded, "I'm just trying to figure out my next move. Stop pressuring me." Not long after, she got pregnant with our son, and then she got pregnant with our daughter while he was still very young. A few months after she was born, when I asked my wife what her plans were job-wise, she finally just said, "I don't want to go back to work. You make enough for us to get by. Just let me be a wife and mother." I told her that I was concerned that I don't make enough to give our family as good of a life as I'd like, but she insisted that we could make it work. I have to admit, she's probably a model homemaker and mom. When I wake up for work in the morning, there is always freshly brewed coffee and breakfast waiting for me. The house is always clean, and other than yard work and repairs, I don't have to do anything around the house. And she is a great mother to our kids, so I'm quite lucky in many ways. However, money is way tighter than I'd like. We are barely saving anything, and I'm not even able to meet my employer's match on my 401k in order to have enough for us to get by. We live lean, eat beans and rice for dinner a couple times a week, etc. I don't feel as if I signed up for this. We were both working when we got married, and I never thought we'd have to live on just my income. I've tried to talk to her about going back to work, even part-time, to help our financial situation several times, but she just won't hear it. When I was going through our expenses, I recently saw that we were signed up for live streaming services. I kept Hulu and Netflix. They had more child-based programming for our son and our daughter when she gets a little older, but canceled HBO and Discovery Plus because they are pretty exclusively for adults. I kept Shudder because it's cheap and I like horror. When I told my wife about it, she got angry and said that I should have talked to her first, that she had shows she was watching on both of the services I canceled. I just responded, well, get a job and you can pay for them then. She hated that. I think it was fair, but she doesn't see it that way. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Childcare is expensive. If she goes to work, one salary will be eaten up by childcare. I think you would be shocked at how much your quality of life is reduced if you did have your share at home. All that stuff you don't do is true work. Please spend some time reflecting on your dismissal of the work she's doing. In closing, you guys need to talk. Talk lots, talk long, talk honestly. Use empathy and whatever insights you can provide to come up with a shared vision of the future, or else your marriage is probably doomed to be unhappy at best. OP is not the idiot. This is silly, and often an excuse used to force women to give up on their careers. I know in this case she's the one who doesn't want to work outside the home, but countless studies show working parents come out on top at the end, rather than zero benefits. Your wife imposed to you that I don't want to go back to work. You make enough for us to get by. Just let me be a wife and mother. She's letting all the financial pressure on you, and it seems to be too much for you to support. You are the idiot. Get a job. You can get a second one. Breakfast ready every morning, clean house, tidy yard, happy children. She's not sitting on her butt all day. I noticed you kept your horror channel, so yes, you should have talked to her first. Everyone's the idiot. Budgeting, childcare, and working/being a stay-at-home parent should be joint decisions made by talking to each other, not you just making your own decisions and expecting your spouse to be okay with that. You might be the only one making a paycheck right now, but she's working full-time on the house and children. As a result, she gets a say in how the money is spent. You need to sit down and have a serious conversation with each other. My girlfriend usually has girls' nights with her girlfriends, and they spend them without boyfriends and partners. I don't mind, as I do also have guy nights with my friends. But lately, there's been a pattern I see where she says they're going to have a girls' night, but afterwards in the pictures they post on social media, there are some boyfriends of the other girls. So I first asked my girlfriend what that was and why I wasn't invited as her boyfriend if it wasn't a girls' night out. And she said she didn't know they'd bring their boyfriends. So I let it go because I said fair enough. This happened again for the following 4 times they had a girls' night out. Boyfriends of others were constantly there, and I was the one excluded. I told my girlfriend this hurts me because I feel like I'm not liked and accepted by her friends if I'm always excluded. She gave the same excuse, and I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I was still upset. Last night they arranged another night out, just the girls again, but they posted with their boyfriends again on social media. At this point I'm mad because I feel like they consider me an idiot. They don't even bother to hide that the boyfriends are there. They display them all over Instagram. After their drinks, they came by to chill at my and my girlfriend's place, and I was upset because they came late and made noise, knowing I had to sleep because I get up early for work the next day. I told them to tone it down a bit, in a respectful way, and one of the boyfriends called me a vanilla snob, and they all started chuckling, including my girlfriend. I got mad because I had enough of this, and I tell them it's crappy of them to laugh at me for going to sleep after all they've done. I elaborated on how I felt excluded from the whole situation. My girlfriend and the rest of her friends called me an idiot because they claim these boyfriends have been around longer and are part of the friend group, whereas I'm not, and I'm not entitled to hang out with them unless invited. Now I feel like the idiot because I don't want to pressure my girlfriend and her friends to accept me into their friend group, and I don't want to seem like I'm dependent on her. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. And the fact that your girlfriend laughed when one of the boyfriends insulted you makes my blood boil. How many times have you explained to her that it bothers you? As I understand, you've talked to her about it, and she uses excuses and later claims you're simply not welcome because you haven't been around long enough? Not the idiot. They're lying and being rude for a while now and trying to pin it as a you problem. Also, if I were you, I'd reconsider the relationship with the girlfriend since she's in on it and has no problem with laughing at jokes at your expense. You've got a girlfriend problem. If she wanted you there, she would go to bat for you. Girlfriend doesn't really care about your feelings. Not the idiot. I think you know that though. It is not nice to be excluded, And indeed, there are times when you should be invited, and also times when she can spend time with her friends alone. Maybe I'm off base, as I don't know you or your girlfriend, but it seems like something weird is happening here. Where did vanilla come into it? Is your girlfriend discussing your intimate habits with her friends and possibly making fun of you at these outings? This is baseless, but just the vibe I am getting. My daughter is a toddler and recently started attending pre-K. I've made some friends with some of the parents in her class. With my daughter, I practice gentle parenting. I communicate with her and tell her that her feelings are okay, but her behavior is not. I don't expect obedience from her, but to think about the right choices to make. And although she and Mommy aren't equals on authority, we are equal on respect. There is one mom whose son is in my daughter's class, who we will call RJ. RJ has 4 kids and a completely different parenting style than me. She constantly berates them and hands out big consequences for even the smallest offenses. She brought her other kids to pick up her son, and all of her kids look neglected and sad. She doesn't even care about it. She'll say stuff like, "I don't care if they like me or hate me in the future. I'm just happy I'm not raising special snowflakes." There is one dad with whom I've become close friends, and we text each other about how we feel about RJ's parenting. But I keep my mouth shut since she's so stuck in her ways and it won't do anything. On Friday, I picked up my daughter, and she threw a small fit, as toddlers do, and I dealt with it and quickly resolved it as I usually do. But unfortunately, RJ saw this and confronted me, telling me that I was too soft with my daughter and am what is wrong with parents today, and gave me parenting advice that I could never imagine applying to parenting my daughter. I hit my limit and just blurted out, "Yeah, well, enjoy your nursing home when you can't take care of yourself anymore. That's where the parents who hurt their kids go," and stormed out before getting a reaction. I texted my friend later to ask him if my words had any weight on RJ. He told me she cursed up a storm about me, called me an idiot but got over it. A few other parents think I stepped out of line, but most of them, at least the vocal ones, support what I said. I know I may have crossed the line, but I feel like what I said had to be said, and she criticized my parenting in the first place. Everyone's the idiot here, so get off your high horse. Parent however you want, but remember, your daughter saw you stoop low and act nasty to the other woman. Kids are incredible at mimicking, and they are highly impressionable at that age, so don't be surprised when your daughter turns into a snob too. Everyone's the idiot here. She sounds like a real peach who likes to give unsolicited advice and only got what she had coming. You had a bad moment and you were an idiot. Sometimes being an idiot isn't the worst thing you can do. That said, if in your heart of hearts you are parenting your kiddo in a certain way to try to help ensure a more comfortable future for yourself, you're, well, an idiot. Make plans for your future that aren't dependent on your kiddo handling it for you.